Keep you informed. Only on your number one for talk, 95.1 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Let's talk.
The facts are glaring.
It's point blank.
It's better to have little, that there's blessings of God, that you have much more, that there's no blessings of God.
But people need to see, know, and hear.
When you return that money, you hear the message.
Whatever is not yours, even if you kill yourself, it cannot come. That's my opinion.
So do share the facts on Hard Fact.
Hard fact.
Hard Fact. 3 to 6 p.m. Live on 95.1 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
The Big Three. There's always something big happening in Nigeria. Something that gets people talking at home, in their offices, on the road, in the markets. On the Big Three, we don't just bring you the headlines, we go beyond them. Every weekday, Monday to join us as we critically review the three biggest stories driving conversations across Nigeria. From politics to policy, economy to everyday life. If Nigeria is talking about it, you'll find it on the Big Three. The Big Three, more than the headlines. It's where the conversation lives. Only on Nigeria Info 95.1 FM. The Big Three.
This is Hard Facts.
Hard Facts.
Hard Facts.
On 95.1 Nigeria Info.
A very special welcome to you this afternoon. Good afternoon and welcome. I think it's the heat that's getting to me at this point in time. I hope it's not affecting you as much. My name is Somi, welcoming you to Hard Facts this afternoon. 3:20 p.m. is the time. Apologies for starting a little late. Just trying to sort out the internet and everything else so that we have a smooth running as we take on the next 4 hours of the evening together, or the afternoon going into the evening. Yes, I'm going to be here with you up until 7 p.m. before I hand over the reins to the 18. But for now, it's you and I, so let's get into it. I think I have guests join me at about the 5 o'clock hour for the health and lifestyle conversation. In the world this week, they are celebrating, or rather they're commemorating or spreading awareness on matters of antimicrobial resistance. So I'm going to have guests join me hopefully by the 5 o'clock hour to talk on that. But from now until the rest of the time, it's just you and I in the studio. And as always, it's a pleasure, it's an honor to have you joining on the conversations on Hard Facts. Starting with this one here in matters of security. As always, we have to pay attention to these things. As much as we talk about it every day or every other day, we cannot but talk about it. This one coming from Borno State, where the governor has come out to say that they've identified Boko Haram's hideouts and they are calling for military joint operations to defeat the terrorists. Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum said a coordinated military offensive involving the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force to target insurgent strongholds in the Lake Chad area, specifically at Tumbus, Mandara Hills, and Sambisa Game Reserve, will address the security situation to a large extent. He warned that having this joint security operations targeting the strongholds of Boko Haram and ISWAP are needed to decimate the terrorist groups. Otherwise, the security situation in the northeast region will continue to escalate. Now, if you recall, about a few days ago, sometime in the week earlier on last week, we saw these groups fighting. Boko Haram and ISWAP are reportedly said to be fighting along that region, the Lake Chad area specifically, where Governor Zulum is calling for joint military operations to take them out. He said if they were to coordinate among the Army, Navy, and Air Force and target these strongholds in the Lake Chad area, then perhaps the issue of insecurity will be largely dealt with. And he stated this yesterday when he received the newly appointed Chief of Air Staff, Sunday Aneke, at the government house in Maiduguri, identifying the islands as a critical safe haven for Boko Haram and ISWAP fighters, islands such as Tumbus, which was mentioned earlier, and stressing a comprehensive operation if they were to achieve lasting security. The governor said he needed to ensure that these coordinated attacks are happening in that area. He said if we want to bring down insurgency and terrorism in Nigeria, we must address the challenges we are facing in Lake Chad. The area has provided a safe haven for the terrorists, and this has become our major problem. He also highlighted other insurgent enclaves, noting that there are two of them, the Sambisa Games Reserve, which was mentioned earlier, and the Mandara Hills, asking for this coordinated operation to tackle them head on in these areas. He also proposed the command and control structures of the military to have a strategic thinking meeting in Maiduguri with a view to interfacing with each other on how possible best to address the situation. He acknowledged the Nigerian Air Force continued support and expressed confidence that with commitment and dedication, insurgency will be defeated. Earlier on, the Chief of Air Staff, Aneke, Air Marshal, commended the governor especially for his community-based reconstruction and rehabilitation initiatives aimed at restoring livelihoods and essential services in insurgency-affected areas. Apparently, there's something they call the Bornu model of community engagement and reconciliation, which is being employed, and that's what Mr. Neke was commending the governor on. Now, of course, you can imagine that this is probably not the first we're hearing of these strongholds in the Lake Chad area, and I don't know if anything was done by the previous security chiefs and service chiefs to tackle this head on. But I remember when we were addressing the story of the Boko Haram and ISWAP members fighting, that video that made its way to social media. I remember some unnamed source talking about the fact that they knew what was going on there and they were observing what was going on. But we hope that this will not be the case in this instance. I don't expect that this information, this is the first time it's making its way to the military. And so we're hoping that it will amount to something strategic, something meaningful, that would really and truly put an end to this menace of Boko Haram and ISWAP, especially seeing the fact that just yesterday, a brigadier commander who was earlier declared safe by the Nigerian army after fighters from ISWAP ambushed his team along the Dambuabiu axis in Borno State, later turned up dead. M. Uba, Brigadier Commander M. Uba, his name, we're seeing everything from screenshots of chats where he was communicating with his team, having just escaped the terrorists, only for them to still find him and kill him. On Sunday, that's when the story first broke. Humango put it out, and Premium Times came to report that he was kidnapped after ISWAP terrorists ambushed his team alongside operatives of the Civilian Joint Task Force. This ambush had occurred on Friday night. On Sunday, the story made its way to the headlines, and then the army came out to deny that he was kidnapped and said that he was safe after soldiers successfully repelled the ambush. In a statement, Army spokesperson Apollonia Nele, a lieutenant colonel, confirmed the ambush against the troops of 25 Task Force Brigade, which Emuba was leading, and also said that the troops came under sudden and heavy insurgents fire while returning from a routine patrol around the fringes of the Sambisa forest, and described the news of Emuba's abduction, this is when it first broke, as a fake narrative. The army said 4 personnel, 2 soldiers and 2 members of the vigilante group, the CJTF, were killed during the attack, only for it to flood the headlines yesterday that he did not make it. And now ISWAP has put out a statement published through its propaganda newsletter confirming that indeed they killed him. And so, with reports from Zulum talking about targeted attacks on these areas where these terrorists are said to now consider their safe haven, we cannot stress the importance of it, how quickly they need to act. And again, yes, we know sometimes some of the details of an approach and the tactical methods that the military wants to take would not be put out. But really and truly, we can have more of our lives. You know, we're talking about either they're killing people, I mean, this terrorists killing people, kidnapping people, and then also having men of the force who are also being killed as well, right? And so whatever Zulum is saying, whatever he's doing, at this point, the president needs to take it up. I asked the question, was that yesterday or a couple of days ago, talking about shouldn't we have a state of emergency at this point? And it was like, oh no, let's just be done with what the government is doing and call for foreign intervention. But before that gets here, for example, how are we going to take on this menace? Zulum speaking to the matter and addressing the service chief. Let's see if it's going to make any kind of difference at all. But again, all the lives that we're losing to this, one life too many, whether it is our military, whether it is the innocent civilians who are caught in the crossfire. We cannot continue like this. So that's the first story coming out of the headlines today in view of insecurity. Now, let's look at something that happened also today. Federal High Court in Abuja has sentenced a Cyril Indifon, suspended Dean of the Faculty of Law at the University of Calabar, to 5 years imprisonment for sexual harassment. Justice James Omotosho delivered this judgment on Monday in a criminal case prosecuted by the ICPC, that's the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission. Mr. Ndifon, a professor of law, was suspended as dean of the faculty after some female students of the faculty held a protest rally accusing him of sexual harassment. The lecturer had since denied the allegations, claimed that some of his colleagues who were uncomfortable with his leadership style had manipulated the students against him. But clearly, his explanations didn't hold water, as he is now looking at 5 years in prison. Let's look at some of the charges that the ICPC filed against him. A 4-count charge against the suspended professor, first of all, made its way to the court in October 2023. In count 1, the defendant was alleged to have, between June and September of that year, 2023, used his office and position to gratify himself by soliciting nude photographs and videos from a Year 2 diploma female student of the university through WhatsApp chats on his telephone number. ICPC said the offense is punishable under Section 19 of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act 2000. In count 2, Ndifon was alleged to have corruptly requested, again, photographs and videos from a 400-level female student at the Faculty of Law with the plan of changing her project supervisor to himself in order to guarantee favorable grades for her, contrary to and punishable under Section 81A of the Agencies Act. In the 3rd count, he was alleged to have corruptly requested, again, photographs, this time around from a 16-year-old prospective post-UTME female student as an inducement to consider her for admission into the Faculty of Law, also punishable under the Act. And count 4 accused him of causing a female student to send, again, indecent photos, obscene photographs of herself to him through WhatsApp chats on his telephone number between May and September of 2023. Meanwhile, an amended charge dated 19th of January 2024 added a Sonny Anyawu, one of Mr. Ndifon's lawyers, as a second defendant. Anyawu, the lawyer now, was accused of attempting to obstruct justice by contacting key witnesses during the trial. And so all of this were put out in the course of a trial, and while delivering the judgment, Mr. Motosho ruled that the ICPC has proved the evidence in counts 1 and 2 beyond reasonable doubt, and said it was with dismay that he read through the case that a dean of law could turn himself into such a predator, and instances of undue advantage against female students were so many, so much so that the first defendant abused his office. And so a 2-year jail term in count 1, a 5-year imprisonment in count 2 without the option of a fine, and also holding that the sentences must run concurrently. So there we have it. Because the question I think that I was going to ask was, is this sufficient time for this kind of crime that was committed? And so the headlines say 5 years for sexual harassment, but also in the story we have that there is also a 2-year jail term in count 1. In addition, well, concurrently, so yeah, it's still going to be 5 years if my understanding of these things are correct, since it's concurrently, so 2 years and then 5 years all in one. So it's not 7 years, which still brings me back to the question, is that sufficient time for the crime noted? The judge said that the court was lenient in the sentence, there we have it, because the convicted professor was a first-time offender, and secondly, because his lawyer, Oladimije Kengba, had earlier pleaded for leniency. Again, the question, what kind of leniency are we pleading for sexual predators? Yes, first-time offender, but given the nature of this kinds of cases where we are seeing them happen more and more within our educational system, students being preyed on, and it's not just female students, interestingly. Yes, it's becoming such a scandalous behavior amongst lecturers in these universities, professors and what have you, but you wouldn't hear as much as often the cases of the young men being preyed upon. But yes, it's happening across both sexes. But in this man's case, he targeted females as young as 16 years old. Omotosho ended by saying that the judgment should serve as a warning and lesson to any other randy lecturer who is still going around harassing female students, saying it was only a matter of time before the long hand of the law caught up with them. On the second defendant, Omotosho said the lawyer who was contacting witnesses, having evidence that a phone call took place months before the investigation began and before charges were filed against the Unical professor. And so he said, though the lawyer's action, though improper, the court will not infer criminal intent in it. Again, really? Really? There ought to be some sort of repercussion for this. But I'd like to hear from you when the phone lines open. Do you think that this is a strong enough deterrent? As the judge put it, saying that, it should serve as a warning. Is this a strong enough deterrent? 5 years granted in this case after a 2-year court case trial, investigations and all of that. That's what has been given to this man, 5 years. I'd like to get your thoughts on that when the phone lines open up. Now, see, final story here before we get to you has to do with the show of shame, as I can best put it, that happened at Wadata Plaza earlier on today. Stories are still coming out concerning, the clash between the Wike-led faction with Senator Ayaun as chairman of the one faction of the PDP, and also the Makinde-led faction that has Tani Muturaki as its national chairman of the PDP. Show of shame, really, because, different reports, different videos that made its way as a result of the fiasco that took place this morning. You had police officers, and that really and truly is one of the things that had me thinking, God help us. Police officers dispersing tear gas inside Wadata Plaza. Apparently, the news had it that Makinde arrived at the Secretariat about 11:10 a.m., accompanied by the newly elected national chairman of the party, Kabiru Turaki, and other members of the team. The Oyo governor was at the Secretariat apparently to attend the inaugural NEC meeting of the new PDP leadership under Mr. Turaki. Something that that they were fixing for a fight, or they were spoiling for a fight by setting that meeting, because as of yesterday, what was in the news was that Nyesom Wike and his faction had scheduled a meeting at Wadata Plaza. Anyway, Makinde and Turaki and their entourage gained access to the Secretariat premises and the NEC hall with the assistance of their security detail, who cleared the road and kept people at a distance. Only for about 10 minutes later, Wike arrived in company of heavily armed security operatives, and by the time he got there, according to the reports, Makinde and Turaki had already settled inside the NEC hall. And so supporters of both factions were there chanting solidarity songs and protesting around the secretariat when the FCT minister arrived, prompting police officers stationed at the venue to fire tear gas to disperse rival groups. It got so bad, really, that there was throwing of hands. They were going at it. Fisticuffs, or I cannot think. What did they call it? It was nothing. I couldn't describe it as anything else but a show of shame. Again, like I said, news reports are still developing because at a point there were directives that everybody should leave the place, including journalists who were there. And so, as at the time of filing the report, the one that I'm reading to you right now, it was said that the minister was still sat in his vehicle. Premium Times had earlier reported that the governor of Bauchi State and chairperson of PDP Governors Forum, Bala Mohammed, had already arrived at the venue and taken his seat as well. And apparently discussions taking place inside the hall, even though they couldn't be independently verified at the time because journalists were barred from assessing the venue, but some sort of normalcy, if you will, had returned to the plaza. And so you have what some people would say is really not surprising, a degenerating of circumstances within the PDP. But for me, again, it is the fact that the police, at some point, I couldn't really tell. And again, during the 30 minutes period, the segment where we get to play clips, perhaps we can get even more information about it because it was just chaos everywhere from a lot of the videos that we're seeing on social media. But you couldn't really tell who exactly the police was because one of the videos I saw, you literally had some people in security outfits. I wasn't entirely sure if it was police or not, but they were trying to force the gate open to allow access into the plaza by some people. And so it was this whole mess. But again, perhaps you say, okay, they were there to disperse any what they call it now, touts or hoodlums or what have you. You had Tani Mutaraki putting out a statement, really and truly, I watched this video, asking for Trump to come and restore the democracy of Nigeria. It's now that bad. All our problems in Nigeria now is a Trump thing. Even when you have internal party crisis, it was just something of I had second hand, third hand, all the kinds of embarrassment just watching that. Tani Mutaraki asking that Trump should come and restore democracy to Nigeria. But that's the pretty much what you have coming from there. It's also a concern when you think about, say PDP was to arise as a phoenix from the ashes of this calamity that they are in. I remember someone saying this is how they operate. They always come like this and then they rise stronger. So I say, okay, say they were to arise really as a phoenix from the ashes. You think about the amount of thuggery and what would you call it now that you saw in some of the videos of what took place in Wadata Plaza this morning, and you think these are the people who we are going to entrust our country to, the leadership of this country to. I mean, you had Turaki speaking very boldly saying they are willing to lay down their lives and fight for the democracy of the country. I mean, if really and truly that was what this was about, perhaps, I don't know. Maybe some of you actually believe that is what this is going to amount to, the fight for democracy. And I'd very much like to hear from you if that's your thought on this. But it does seem like a very painful thing to see how low they could go. You're having this happen around the same time. Conversations on influencers, so-called, in the social media are also throwing hands at each other. And what really is the difference? Perhaps, this is just me asking out loud, perhaps some of you can clear the air on that. But these are the three stories. I might have one or two bonus stories to share with you, but let's get to the phone lines, open up the floor for conversation and get your thoughts on it. We talked about what's happening in Borno State. Zulum has identified the hideouts, the enclaves of these terrorists, and is asking for a joint coordinated effort to take them out. This in view of the fact that we just lost one of our men of the force to these same ISWAP people, and they came out to make a statement against it. So, I mean, if by now that place hasn't already been bombarded by the armed forces, the Nigerian military and all of that, I don't know what else we're waiting for. But Zulum is saying this is where they're at. He mentioned the places. Again, like I said, probably not news, but he's calling it out and saying we need to take action. Will action be taken? The second story talking about the case of a Nigerian professor jailed for 5 years. And I've asked, do you think that's enough of a deterrent to stop these issues of sexual harassment within our educational institutions? And lastly, the story about PDP and their ability to rise. Yeah, and what they can give us right after that. 0700951 0000, 009-597-4869. On WhatsApp, 0809-993-0137. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Welcome.
My name is Adiola Victor from Busalabi.
Yes, Mr. Victor.
Well, as for PDP, the fight has just begun. You see, it is very bad seeing that show of shame. Two factions trying to hold parallel meeting. I watched the video. I watched the show of shame. It's very sad that what they planted is now haunting them. Politics of corruption and state capture and the do or die is something pretty bad. And the fight has just begun. They will fight to finish. Then as for the law professor, it's very sad. For the next 5 years, at least, his manhood will go on holiday. If they find out, I believe he has a wife. So why should you be running after young girls in the university? The girls you're supposed to mentor to teach and make them responsible. You want to destroy their life. So let him go out. Even though it is 1 year, they have destroyed his professional career for life and his family. And I believe if he has a wife and children, I know by now they will not be happy with that professor and his family. We still have many of them in the university systems. And I want the law to bite hard on these politicians who are also running up after young girls because they have the money, they are well connected. They should also go to jail. We have to strengthen our laws to bite very hard. And if possible, we need more prisons, build more prisons, and send these lawbreakers to jail to serve as deterrents. They cannot continue to destroy our society because of the money they have, the influence, and the power they have. They want to destroy the life of young girls.
All right.
Right now, that's why we teach them a big lesson. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Even if it's 1 year, he says. Okay. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Sorry, my name is Emeka from Borempa.
Welcome, Emeka. Go ahead.
In fact, it's not been funny. It's not been pleasant for any Nigerian.
Can you turn down the volume of your device, please, Emeka? I'm getting feedback.
Okay, let me turn it down.
Thank you.
So what I'm saying that for Nigeria, it's been hard for Nigerians, right? From Nigeria failing to make it to the World Cup, to the kidnap of the 25 girls, to the killing of the gallant general, now to the PDP debacle, to in fact, I don't know whether it's the hardest time to be a Nigerian. It looks like democracy have been murdered in Nigeria. What are we even saying? Can we now beat our chest and say that we're practicing democracy when a minister appointed by a government could abandon his duties and then start fighting for a party? For me, it doesn't actually make sense. I think that the president should wade in and come to it. I'm not saying that the president should wade in into the PDP debacle, but at least let there be since this they knew that the police would have just sealed completely that particular PDP office. What if somebody have been killed or somebody have been maimed or injured today? They allowed one part of the one section to gain entrance. I don't understand, honestly. We should be uniting together in fight of these insurgents. We should be uniting together, not in defection. The other day in Plateau, they are rejoicing, they are welcoming people. It's like people are coming to heaven.
Okay.
And they're welcoming them back to heaven.
Okay.
What are we practicing? Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Hello. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Somi, how are you doing?
I'm good under the circumstances. Talk to us,
Okay,
please.
my name is Jafar Abdullahi.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Okay. My concern is about the U.S. Coming to invade Nigeria. You see, if the U.S. are coming to invade Nigeria for the sake of all the citizens.
But, sorry.
That one.
1 second, sir. Which story are you saying this in response to? Which story in particular?
That is the story of the Congress, U.S. Congress.
Oh no, we didn't bring that up this afternoon. We haven't brushed
Okay,
it
so
yes.
But you mentioned one story about the U.S. Nigeria debacle.
No, actually, I didn't. What I had referred to was the only time I brought that up. Turaki saying that Trump should come and save Nigeria's democracy. Is that what you're speaking to?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
go
yes.
ahead.
Yes. Okay. Well, if Trump is going to come and save democracy in the country, that is a different ball game. What Turaki is saying is different. Trump never said democracy. Trump mentioned Christian genocide. So these are two different issues. So Turaki should understand that Trump is not coming for all the citizens of Nigeria. He's coming for only Christians. So what of us that are Muslims? What happened? We are being left in the cold to fight for ourselves. And this issue of genocide, is the Muslims that are killing Muslims. It's the Muslims killing Muslims. Hundreds of Muslims being killed. Then they will come and spin the story and say that Muslims they are having a genocide against Christians. I think that is a wrong narrative. What they should find out is, are the Muslims killing themselves there? That is it. So I think it's a wrong thing. And until we get it right, Trump will just take sides. He will just take sides and leave the Muslims on their own. The terrorists are killing the Muslims. He himself will come and kill the Muslims. And I think he's going to come and confound the story. Because right now he's having a divide and rule. He has favored one side, he has left one side. So he has made a divide and rule. By doing that, he has pitched Nigerians against each other. So I think he's rather going to come and compound the story.
All right then. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Just to get this out of the way, there's this danger about the narrative, right? But at the same time, when you look at the fact that when they were ruling out their plans, I think AFRICOM and what have you, when they were drawing up their plans, what they said, if they were going to come in on that basis, I think the one they call the aggressive basis, what they said they were going to do is take out the terrorist hideouts. The thing that Zulum is calling for now for our Nigerian military to do is what they said that they were going to do. They would deploy the bombs and drones and what have you to take out the terrorist hideouts. So if they were to target a Boko Haram or ISWAP hideout and they were able to take them out, who benefits from it? All Nigerians, right? But again, there is the danger in the narrative. But at the same time, we find that when we're having conversations and trying to ensure that we know what it is that we're asking for, there's this tendency for people to say, oh, you're being this, oh, you're being that, oh, you're being that. But the danger is in the narrative, really. And then when you put it side by side, what it is that they say they're coming to do, they're going into the north, right? And they're going to take out these enclaves, hideouts, camps, what have you in the north. So ideally, all Nigerians should benefit from it, right? Ideally. All Nigerians, whether Muslim or Christian, who are hurt by this should benefit from it. But also, unable, or except they're able to, and this thing, which is why I keep asking. We trust their intel so much, we trust their tactical ability so much that we believe that no other person will be caught in the crossfire, right? Because if they are both Christians and Muslims in the north, should a Trump invasion happen or a Trump incursion happen, are we so confident that none of us is going to get caught in the crossfire? However, if really and truly they are able to tactically eliminate these Boko Haram and ISWAP people, all Nigerians will benefit from it. Yes, I think we can all agree on that one. If it's going to hurt any of them within the communities, it's going to hurt all Nigerians who are in that community, irrespective of their tribe or religion, because they will not be able to differentiate who is Christian or Muslim when the bombs and the drones start attacking, will they? So, just getting that out of the way. However, the conversation this afternoon on that angle, calling for a Trump to come to Nigeria, was coming from Turaki when he said Trump should come and save Nigeria's democracy. Apparently, Trump is now the alpha and the omega, and even internal party crisis, he is the best person to resolve it, because our politicians are too caught up in themselves to be able to sit down and do what's right for their party, for Nigerians, and for our democracy. Okay, let's take one more call and then we'll go for a commercial break. Here we have it. Good afternoon. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Somi.
Good afternoon, sir. Welcome.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm okay.
My name is Salasi.
All right, sir.
Trump say he's coming to deal with terrorists. Yes, Christian people complain. And I expect the Muslim community to complain. Yes, the last caller said they are killing Muslims too in the north. Why wouldn't the Muslim Ummah report to the Trump that this is what is happening in our own country? Somi, did you watch the video of that General M. Uba, how he was killed?
No,
by
I
ISWAP?
didn't see it. I
watched the video. It's so disheartening. A whole general being put to kneel down, and the ISWAP put gun to him. And somebody is saying, Trump is coming from one side. We are talking of the insecurity that have been disturbing us in this country. Look at that woman that they killed her husband. In the presence of her, they brought her husband, and he was there. They asked him to lie down. They shot her husband, and they kidnapped the 25 children. Why are we so sentimental? If Salasi brother is a terrorist, I will report him. Do you remember General Master Mutalla, that guy that wanted to board American plane? A father report him. He said, my son, I don't believe my son. The way he's associating, it's like he's having connection with the terrorists. That is a true father. If my brother, is a terrorist, I will report him to the Nigerian government so that they will get rid of him. You see terrorists answering call him for ransom. You give them bike. You give them everything. They can use the intelligence to get the terrorists wherever they are and eliminate them.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you then. Okay. So I believe we've gotten that out of the way. Let's stay on topic. We'll continue with the conversations right after the break. It's 95.1 Nigeria Info, hard facts after this.
Everyone says I'm beautiful and
your thoughts and your contributions on the Big Three this afternoon. If you're just joining us, we have touched on security or insecurity, if you will, looking at Governor Zulum's calling out the Nigerian military, Air Force, all of them to have a joint coordinated attack within the Lake Chad region to wipe out the Boko Haram and ISWAP camps there, who have considered that place a safe haven and are operating from there at will. That happening also in view of the fact that we lost one of our military men to ISWAP, who came out confirming that they were indeed the ones that took his life. An execution, as a matter of fact, after he was captured, kind of got away, and then they got him back and took his life. And Baba Gana Zulum is saying, this is what we need to do to get rid of these terrorists, particular areas where they are in, the Mandara Hills, the Sambisa area, and the Lake Chad region. Do a coordinated attack, get rid of them, and stop this menace of insecurity in the country. That was the first story. Second story was about the conviction of a Nigerian professor who was given 5 years for sexual harassment after a 4-count charge was leveled against him. As far back as 2023 is when his case started, and judgment was reached on Monday. That was the second story. And lastly, the show of shame, because I have no other word to describe it than that, at Wadata Plaza and what it's coming to. Again, story still developing. We expect to hear probably before the end of the show today what has happened. Did Wike gain access to the plaza? Did his faction hold a meeting? We expect that some expulsions will be done on his end as well. But again, the question, do you see them rising from this? And if they do, what hope really is there in a party that can be this dysfunctional, if you will? 2027 is around the corner. Conventions in question, and even if the one that held was not in question, we expect that the Wike faction will try and organize one of theirs. How much of a mess do we see ourselves going as far as the PDP is concerned? Those are the three stories we shared today. Let's get back to the phone lines. 0700951 0000, 009 4869, and 009 993 0137. Let's talk. Good afternoon. Oh dear, call me back. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Well done. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
My name is Abdul.
Good to have you here, Abdul. Go ahead.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. It's so deafening. It's so disheartening to speak of our general being maltreated, humiliated, and distanced from his career, life, forever. I feel deeply, unfulfilled. I feel deeply sorrowful, and I'm with the family. That alone would have been a trigger for this, government. Nobody is telling you, President, Mr. President, we don't want you. No. The thing is, know what to take and know what to drop. Democracy, as Nigerians are concerned, it is for Nigerians, it is not for alliance. So, by so understanding, I believe the time has run out for this APC government to act, to deliver, home and elsewhere. What Baba Zulum is saying is reality. It's the real fact. He has been, giving sensitive information like this since Buhari's time. It is unfortunate that the administration of our military, our security apparatus, it's like it has been snaked. It has been penetrated by criminals. Now just imagine, 3 years ago or so, that was a clear example of negligence from government. One top kidnapping boss by, I think his name is Badumi also, that Taraba exists, Taraba State. In the process of our uniformed men trying to arrest this man, more than 4 or 5 officers lost their lives. Tell me how their family are faring now. This guy was just given a meager 3 years. He came out from the prison, he was received a hero in the city of Taraba, Jalingo. But you are busy telling you are accepting repentant other Boko Haram, ISWAP, or whatever, spending the billions that's supposed to be spent on realities that will impact the public.
Okay.
It's very, very unfortunate.
Indeed. Indeed.
What happened at the Wadata Plaza? Let me just cut it short.
All right, sir. Please. 2 seconds.
I want Mr. Wiche to think twice. Today is you, tomorrow is another hour. If you want democracy, you should have gone and, destroyed the democracy that put you, that made you to be a governor for 8 years in your state and install a military administrator.
All right.
Okay, you are a Nigerian. You are not a foreigner. Leave democracy to thrive. Why is it today that you are going to hold your meeting there?
All right, then. Let's leave it at that, sir. You've taken a considerable amount of time, but we appreciate your thoughts on the matter. We need to take some more calls. Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello?
Yes, welcome.
Yeah, Somi, how are you now?
I'm okay.
Yeah, my name is Udo Dinas President.
Roger, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Concerning PDP, I know that definitely there's going to be a reaction, an outcome of the convention, but it's really a show of shame that this kind of thing is happening in the federal capital territory. And these people, I don't know if PDP will be able to survive this. It's a pity that those who make PDP, they are the ones destroying it now because of their self-centeredness. And they could not uphold the sanctity of the party. And concerning the information from the Borno State governor,
yes,
for me, it's no longer a news. It's what everybody is already aware of. If the 2 terrorists can kill themselves in Niger State in order to dominate, to prove that they are the superior, they say, what is military waiting for? If military cannot go and wait all of them. And the question I continue to ask on this station is, what is the usefulness of the Tucano jet bought by Buhari? Does it mean that the jets are no longer in operation or what? That this kind of thing is happening. And this is a calling call to all the military officers, the chief of staff. If this military can be seen the same way it was murdered, it means that them too, they are no longer safe when they retired. So it's better for them to begin to do the needful now, because definitely they will get back on them too if they can do this to their colleagues. So it's a wake-up call for that they will do everything within their power to get rid of these people before it is too late. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm cool. Are you? My name is Pastor Lee, calling from Dubai.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I just want to advise all the people that they put leadership position, that when you have a opportunity to lead people, like a lecturer, like a pastor or imam, you should then control your tongue there. Don't let your tongue there be the one controlling them. Because where to lead you, it will end well. It should be a lesson. And also advise all the university leaders, please, once in a while, once in 3 months, they should organize lesson. Maybe they are training for other staff to learn how to control their toddler, how to cope with opposite sex when they are in leadership position. That's number one. Concerning PP, boss for the what I get right now. I could remember some years ago, Winkin was the one fighting to defend PP, to sustain PDP. He's the one now fighting to destroy PDP. And I want to tell APC, Winkin will still be the one to bring them down if care's not taken.
Pastor,
yeah, I'm there.
All right, you can wrap up your thoughts, please. I can hear you now. You wrap up, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, any political party that does not mean well for Nigeria, go down the party. My name is Parasege from Dubai.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Okay.
Okay. Good afternoon, Auntie Somi.
Good afternoon.
My name is Triple D, sending this voice message from Waru. Well, on the issue of the PDP and the show of shame, in life, no matter how long it takes, one day the right thing will be done. You see this issue of PDP and the show of shame in this country, that they refuse to unite to fight for us, it will soon come to an end. Mark my word, we will soon get it right. Because no matter how it takes, as I said, one day the right thing must come to be documented. And it's about to happen. Well, on the Zulum, is it now that they are identifying the spot area of Boko Haram? They're just telling us news. They know where these people are. They know. Kai, may the souls of that innocent man rest in peace. But fine, as he identified them, if not now that they identify the spot place of Boko Haram, Nigeria will get it right. Thank you for being there for us. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much, sir. Ambik from Guak says Governor Babagana Zulum identifying the terrorist hideout is not new. Remember, the governor of Niger State had already told us he knows where they are and can take the Nigerian military to their location. Above all, Sheikh Gumi and those northern leaders holding amnesty meetings with the bandits and terrorists in the bushes know where they are, so where they are is not unknown. But the political will, military might, and community support to fight and defeat these terrorists. Imagine a foreign president, Donald Trump, offering to help kill these terrorists, and we're having sympathizers and apologies with all sort of... Okay. All right. Okay. It says Lieutenant General Azubike Ejirika tried to help, but he was petitioned to ICC for genocide against the northern region. Okay. All right. Let's get back to the messages, shall we? Governor Zulum trying by letting the security operatives know the hideouts of insurgents. Does it mean that the insurgents have no access to our electronic and newsprint media? When you announce on air that you know the hideouts of wanted criminals, you are indirectly telling them to escape. History has it that those who played betrayal games ended in regrets. Time will come when government machinery will not be at their disposal. PDP shall be great again. Chima from our post says, Joe from Guags, the murdered Brigadier General Uba should be given posthumous national honor and his family rewarded so as to shame the terrorists and encourage our soldiers. May his soul rest in peace. I mean, this one I have to agree with. I do. And this also goes to as many of our military men who are losing their lives in this fight. Because with all the rumors and conspiracy theories going around, you cannot continue to have, even if there are bad eggs in the military who are giving away this information and causing the death of their own, assuming that this really and truly is the reality that we are faced with now, then murders like this, deaths like this, executions like this, which the ISWAP was bold enough to put out a publication owning up to it, should not be allowed to just go like every other death. I don't know. This is just me towing the same path that Gio says, really and truly. Because if there are good people within the military and they are fighting for the deliverance of this country from these bandits and terrorists who some of our government officials are meeting with, rewarding, having discussions with, then even more of the good eggs in the military will go bad. Because they are seeing that what does it really pay to continue to fight for the deliverance of Nigeria from these terrorists. If at the end of the day, even the ones that they catch, the ones that they apprehend, are made to enjoy some sort of life after all the atrocities that they're committing. So yes, deaths like that of this Brigadier General Uba honestly should not go unmentioned by our military, by our president. They should ensure that they are rewarding these people for laying down their lives in the face of perceived betrayal from even in-house of the military. Is really so sad. I mean, I think about the communication that was going on between him, again, because I saw this news reports have it that there was communication right after he escaped the ISWAP terrorists. He was communicating, and at some point he had talked about how if he hears the aerial vehicle which was coming to pick him up, that he would, the way he would identify himself. And then shortly after that, he was gone. So please, yes, these murders, these assassinations, these killings of our military men should not go unacknowledged, unappreciated, and unrewarded. Definitely adding my voice to that one. So whatever the president and his cronies are doing to the opposition parties, let them continue. Turaki should not bother himself to save democracy. He should first talk about saving himself and the lives of the people being wasted. Let democracy save itself, Israel says. Donald Trump is not proposing to fight for Christians alone, but Christian genocide is propelling his planned action in Nigeria. I'm intent, really and truly, to not continue reading messages where there are differing opinions. So if you know that I didn't finish your message, just know that you crossed the line there, okay? So let's also, your comment, really and truly, Israel, is divisive, and that's why I'm not reading it out. And to every other person who has these kinds of languages being used, people with differing opinions, please differ, but don't do this. I will not finish your comment. Obande says, okay, all right. Good afternoon, Somi. I'm Nemeka from Karamu. I think the way our politicians are going and embarrassing the country called Nigeria. Okay. Oh dear God, it's too heated at this point. Let me get back to the phone lines. Hello? All right. A few voice notes, I'll take them shortly after this. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, welcome.
Yeah, Comrade Abubakar calling from Gagalada.
Go ahead, comrade.
What of Oracle?
You haven't listened to the station in a while, have you?
Maybe something like that.
The Oracle left Nigeria Info in October.
Yes. So I wish you success.
Thank you.
Thank you,
here. Thank you, sir.
And welcome on board.
Thank you.
Thank you. Issue of insecurity in Nigeria and coming out of Governor of Borno State, to me as a Nigerian, is quite unfortunate. And my brother, same state, make one comment in National Assembly, a person of Dino Malay, and I called him. He said that if you say the truth, you lie, you die. I better say the truth and die. You know?
Hello? Oh, what happened to your network? Hello? Hello, sir, are you there? Okay, call me back, please. Thank you very much. I can take a few more calls, probably one before the commercial break and two more right after, before we go to the sound bites. So please, when you get picked up, keep it short so other people can contribute. Good afternoon.
Yes. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. My name is Abdul calling from Maitama.
Welcome, Abdul. You have a minute.
Thank you. On the respect of insecurity, we have a long way to go. Until when we have a serious government in position of a reality, before we will tackle the issue of insecurity. You cannot use the resources of the country and welcome the opposition party into your own political party. Instead of to take care of the security, increasing of their salary and their well-being and their family. Tell me, when did you have immigration in our own borders? arrested 50 or 100 people. Insecurity, it go with corruption. That is the reason why you see many times there is conflict in different places in Nigeria. Because of the people in the border, the security in the border, they are compromised. They collect money. They don't know who come in and who go out. From Cameroon and Niger and Chad, people used to enter direct, come to Abuja and do whatever what they want to do, and they go back. No one arrested them and challenged them. How did they reach to Nigeria and what did they come and do? Nothing like this. So that is the reason why we are advocating for the changing of government of Tinubu. He has failed. You remove the subsidy and you are borrowing the money. Use the subsidy money and fund the security. Security is very expensive.
Okay.
Let's talk to ourselves the truth. Thank you very much. Keep doing what you are doing and doing it very well. This is my take.
Thank you. Let's take that break now. We'll be back.
Zan wuce cibiyar wasanni da motsa jiki. Cibiyar wasanni? Tun yaushe? Ai tun da na fara jin daɗin shi.